Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Competitive Botany. In this video, you are going to learn monohybrid cross and Mendelian laws such as law of dominance and law of segregation. Let's go to the class. Mendel studied the inheritance of 7 pairs of contrasting characters in garden pea. They are plant height. It has two alternative traits such as tall plants and dwarf plants. It shows two phenotypes like tall and dwarf. Seed color also have two traits such as green and yellow seeds. Seed shape also have two traits such as smooth and wrinkled seeds. Flower color red and white flowers. Flower position terminal and axillary. Pod color green and yellow pods. Pod shape inflated and wrinkled. So these are the 7 contrasting characters chosen by Mendel for his hybridization experiments. So he made artificial crosses between two plants showing at least one pair of contrasting characters. Thus, he paid his attention to a single character at one time. So this is the reason for Mendel's success. Let's see what is monohybrid cross. A cross between two parents that differ in single pair of contrasting characters is known as monohybrid cross. See the picture. These two are the plants, they differ in their height. One is tall plant, other is dwarf plant. Such a cross is called as monohybrid cross. Let us see monohybrid cross with a classical example, nothing but a cross made between tall and dwarf plants. Mendel self-pollinated pea plants for several generations to get pure homozygous tall plants and pure homozygous dwarf plants. Pure means tall plants give only tall progeny and dwarf ones give only dwarf progeny. Let us discuss in detail. Tallness and dwarfness are determined by a pair of contrasting factors or genes. He denoted these factors by capital T and small t respectively. A tall plant is pure tall because it possesses two alleles for the tallness, which is pure parent. Okay, so and also dwarf variety is dwarf because it has two alleles for dwarfness. So such condition is referred as pure condition. Okay, homozygous pure condition. The tall plant selected by Mendel was about 180 centimeters long and the dwarf plant was about 45 centimeters in height. The offspring of such a cross were all tall plants. So, these two plants selected by Mendel for the artificial hybridization, those two plants belong to parental generation. They are represented by P1 or parents. So when these two plants are crossed artificially, the progeny of such a cross are exhibiting tall character only. Here you can observe the F1, nothing but these hybrid plants form the first filial generation. So they are showing the phenotype tallness. Okay. So F1 plants are always showing the dominant character only. When P1 plants are crossed, the female gamete containing the dominant gene is fertilized by the male gamete containing recessive gene or vice versa. The results are same. So, here you have to remember one thing. Reciprocal crosses give similar results. That means whether the male parent used as a tall or female parent used as a tall, there is no difference in the F1 phenotype. The results are same. Such two crosses are called as reciprocal crosses. Here you can see two different types of crosses. So only the difference is in the first cross, tall parent is female parent. In the second cross, tall parent is male parent. So that is only the difference. These two crosses giving the same results. So it should be very important. Okay, so such two crosses are referred as reciprocal crosses. Even though reciprocal crosses, they give same results. So the F1 hybrid is always showing the dominant character only. Thus, the F1 generation plants contain the genes capital T and small t. In appearance, these plants are tall because capital T is dominant and small t is recessive. So he termed tallness as the dominant character and the dwarfness as the recessive character. Mendel allowed the F1 plants, nothing but F1 hybrids, to self-pollinate. During the gamete formation in F1 plants, the factors segregate in such a way that each gamete receives single factor from a pair of factors. Okay, so here you can see the picture carefully. Thus, each gamete will receive either T or either capital T or small t only. So, during the gamete formation in F1 plants, so the factors, nothing but alleles present in the F1 plant, they segregate in such a way, that means they segregate into capital T and small t. So, either in one gamete, either capital T present or small t present. Thus, each gamete will receive either capital T or small t. The factors present in a hybrid are never blended or never mixed. It should be remembered. Mendel got total of 1064 plants in the next generation. Of these, 787 were tall plants and 277 were short plants, which is the ratio is approximately in the ratio of 3:1. This ratio, such as 3:1, is called monohybrid phenotypic ratio. So, F1 male and female gametes unite at random. So, F1 plant, it will give both male gametes and female gametes. Okay. They unite at random and there are 4 possible combinations. These combinations result in zygote with capital T, capital T, capital T, small t, small t, small t. Alleles, they are formed in the ratio of 1:2:1 respectively. Depending upon the genotype, there are 3 types of plants. Tall homozygous pure, obtained in the ratio of 25% plants are tall homozygous pure. 50% of plants are here and here. 50% of plants are heterozygous tall, nothing but hybrid. And remaining 25% of plants are dwarf plants. They are also pure. Among these plants, 25% of plants are homozygous tall 50% are heterozygous tall, and the remaining 20%, 25% are homozygous dwarf plants. Mendel concluded that F2 ratio is more accurately considered as 1:2:1 according to the alleles present in them. This ratio is known as monohybrid xenotypic ratio. When plants of F2 generation were self-fertilized to get F3 generation, Mendel observed that the dwarf plants only give rise to dwarf progeny, while the tall plants were of two types. Okay, look at the picture carefully. When F2 plants allowed to self-pollination to get F3 generation by Mendel, Mendel observed two things. Dwarf plants of F2 generation, they give rise to dwarf progeny only. Here you can see the results. Okay, dwarf plants of F2 generation, they only give rise into dwarf plants. Why? Because dwarf plants are always pure for that character. They have two alleles, two pure alleles, nothing but two small t alleles, they are present in dwarf plants. Then only the dwarf character will be observed. Next, coming to the tall plants, there are again two types. So about 1/3 of them produced only tall offspring. Look at the picture. Actually, these three plants are tall plants, even though only 1/3 of them will produce only tall progeny in the F3 generation. Remaining 2/3 progeny, okay, the rest progeny produced tall and dwarf in the ratio of 3:1. That their behavior was just like that of F1 hybrid, because they have two alleles like F1 plants. So they are hybrids in their nature. Okay, they have two alleles. Capital T is present and also small t also present. So because they are hybrids, that's why they'll give rise both the progeny, tall and dwarf progeny, in the ratio of 3:1. Their behavior just like that of F1 hybrid plants. Okay. So, based on the hybridization experiments on garden pea, Mendel formulated two laws. Actually, three laws are there, but according to Monohybrid Cross, we are going to discuss only two laws. So, in the next video, I will definitely upload Dihybrid Cross and also third law of Mendelian inheritance. Let's see the two laws in this video. First law is law of dominance. In all the experiments, Mendel observed that when two alternative forms of a character are crossed and brought together, only one is able to express in the F1 hybrids. That means only one trait of the parent was expressed. So, you can see the picture. So, even though F1 hybrid having both the alleles, okay, but it will express only the tall nature, tall phenotype. So, such a character which is appeared in the F1 generation is called dominant character. So, Mendel called that allele which appeared in the F1 generation as the dominant character. So, the other allele which remains masked in the hybrid is called recessive character. This observation led him to formulate his first law, nothing but law of dominance. The law of dominance states that when two contrasting alleles are brought together in a hybrid, one of them expresses itself and it dominates the other allele. A trait or a character, nothing but dwarfness, which appears only in the homozygous individual only. We have seen in the F3 generation, F2 generation and also F3 generation. Okay. So, only the dwarfness or recessive character that is reappeared in the F2 progeny, such character is called as recessive character. Next. Second law is law of segregation. The law states that when a pair of alleles is brought together in hybrid union, okay, you can see the picture in the hybrid, it has two alleles, capital T and small t. The members of the allelic pair remain together without mixing and they separate from each other during the formation of gamete. When they are self-pollinated to get F2 progeny, during the gamete formation in F1 plants, they are separated from each other. Okay, during the formation of gametes. That means two alternative alleles that are present in F1 hybrid plant, but they do not mix or blend and they are separated each other during the formation of gametes. So, F1 hybrid consists of two alternative alleles such as capital T, small t. When it forms gametes, the two alleles such as capital T, small t separate from each other, resulting in the formation of two types of gametes. Okay, here you can see the two types of gametes produced in F1 plant. These are the male gametes and these are the female gametes. 50% of them that carry capital T gametes and remaining 50% they carry small t allele. So, the alleles thus segregate and the gamete can carry only one of the two alternative genes. So, either capital T present in the gamete or small t present. So, as the gametes are pure for a given character, either tallness or dwarfness. This law is also known as law of purity of gametes. So, this is regarding the monohybrid cross.